I never thought love could be measured in dollars until the woman I loved proved me wrong. Mia wasn't just my girlfriend. She was my world. 3 years of love, laughter, and promises of forever. I had pictured a future with her, one where we built a life together, where our struggles only made us stronger. But that future shattered the moment I saw her with him. A rich, older man, dressed in an expensive suit, his wrist heavy with a gold Rolex, his fingers lazily tracing the rim of a whiskey glass as he leaned in to whisper something in her ear. And Mia? She laughed. Not just any laugh, that laugh. The one she used to save just for me. The one that made me feel like the only man in the world. Except now, I wasn't. I was just a fool standing in the shadows, watching the woman I loved betray me for money. The club was packed, music thumping, lights flickering in neon bursts of blue and red. But all I could hear was the ringing in my ears. All I could see was her. The way she placed a hand on his thigh, the way she leaned into him, her fingers lightly brushing the diamond bracelet on her wrist. A bracelet I never bought her. My stomach twisted. My hands clenched into fists. I wanted to believe I was imagining things, that this was all some kind of misunderstanding. But deep down, I knew the truth. Mia had made her choice. And now, it was time for me to make mine. Mia and I were never supposed to fall in love. It started as one of those accidental, unexpected connections, the kind that creeps up on you when you least expect it. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party, one of those crowded, chaotic gatherings where music blared too loud, and conversations were a mix of drunken laughter and half-heard confessions. She stood out. Not just because she was beautiful, though she was, with long dark hair that tumbled over her shoulders, and eyes that could lock a man in place, but because she had this effortless charm. The kind that made you want to listen when she spoke, to impress her without even realizing it. We talked that night, lost in conversation like the world around us didn't exist. And from that moment on, I was hooked. Mia and I were different in a lot of ways. She grew up in a life I could only dream of. Weekend getaways to expensive resorts, designer clothes, a car gifted to her on her 18th birthday that probably cost more than my entire college tuition. Her father was a businessman, her mother a socialite, and money had never been a problem for her. I, on the other hand, came from a family where every dollar mattered. My parents worked hard, long hours, just to keep the bills paid and food on the table. I had learned early on that nothing in life came easy, that if I wanted something, I had to earn it. And yet, despite our differences, we fit together. Mia wasn't like the other girls from her world. She didn't care that I didn't have a fancy car or an overflowing bank account. She loved my ambition, the way I dreamed big and worked even harder. She always said she admired how I never let my circumstances define me. She told me she wanted something real, something money couldn't buy. And for 3 years, I believed her. Our relationship was everything I ever wanted. We spent lazy Sundays wrapped up in each other, making breakfast in my tiny apartment, laughing as she tried and failed to flip pancakes. We had late-night drives with the windows down, music blasting as she sang off-key just to make me smile. She made me feel like the luckiest man alive. Sure, there were moments when I felt out of place in her world. Fancy restaurants where I had to check the menu twice before ordering. Parties where I was surrounded by men in expensive suits who looked at me like I didn't belong. But Mia always reassured me. She'd squeeze my hand under the table, whisper in my ear that none of it mattered. That we mattered. And I believed her. I should have seen the signs. The way her eyes lingered just a little too long on expensive things. The casual complaints about how I worked too much, how I wasn't ambitious enough because I refused to take shortcuts. The way she seemed to light up around men who had money, really big money. But love makes you blind. And I was completely blind. Until the night I saw her with him. That was the night everything changed. They say betrayal doesn't happen in an instant, it creeps in, slow and silent, like a shadow waiting for the right moment to strike. For me, that moment came on a Friday night. Mia had told me she was going out with her friends. Just a girls' night, she had said. pressing a quick kiss to my cheek before slipping into her heels. Nothing crazy, I promise. I smiled, told her to have fun. I didn't question it. Why would I? She had never given me a reason to doubt her. Until now. A couple of hours later, my best friend, Adil, called me up. "Bro, you should come out," he said, the sound of music thumping in the background. "We're at Noir. The vibe is sick tonight." Noir. One of the most expensive lounges in the city. The kind of place where a single drink costs more than my entire week's groceries. Mia loved places like that. I almost said no. I was tired from work, and nights like these weren't really my scene. But something in my gut told me to go. Something told me I needed to see for myself. When I walked into Noir, the first thing I noticed was the suffocating scent of expensive perfume and alcohol. The place was packed men in tailored suits, women in dresses that cost more than my rent. And then, I saw her. Mia. But she wasn't with her friends. She was sitting in a VIP booth, laughing her body leaned dangerously close to a man I had never seen before. He was older, probably in his 40s, his sultan pepper hair slicked back, a gold Rolex flashing on his wrist. And Mia? She looked at him the way she used to look at me. I felt my breath catch in my throat. My feet felt rooted to the ground, my hands curling into fists at my sides. I wanted to believe this was some kind of misunderstanding. Maybe he was just a friend. Maybe she had a reason for being here with him. But then I saw it. His hand resting on her thigh. Her fingers lightly tracing the buttons of his shirt. And the worst part? She wasn't pulling away. She was leaning in, smiling, flirting, like I didn't exist. Like the last 3 years had meant nothing. I don't remember moving, but suddenly I was standing near the booth, close enough to hear their conversation over the loud music. "So, when are we taking that trip?" The man asked, his voice smooth, confident. He reached into his pocket, pulling out something small, a bracelet, a diamond bracelet. Mia gasped, her eyes lighting up like a child on Christmas morning. "Oh my God, you didn't have to," she purred, running her fingers over the diamonds. "It's just the beginning," he smirked. "Stay with me, and there's more where that came from." My stomach twisted. My vision blurred. Stay with me. Was that what this was? She was choosing him? For money? For things? I should have confronted her right then and there. Should have called her out in front of everyone, made a scene, demanded answers. But I didn't. Instead, I turned and walked away. Because at that moment, I realized something. Mia had already made her choice. And now, it was time for me to make mine. I walked out of Noir, but the images refused to leave my mind. Mia's smile, the way she touched his arm, the way she looked at him like I had never existed. A storm raged inside me. My heart pounded, my thoughts spiraling between anger, heartbreak, and disbelief. Was this real? I pulled out my phone, staring at our last conversation. "Mia, love you, baby. See you later. Red, love you, baby." The words felt like poison, though. I wanted to believe there was some kind of explanation, that maybe this was all a misunderstanding. But deep down, I knew the truth. She had lied. I found myself pacing outside the club, hands clenched into fists. I should have gone back inside. Should have marched up to her and demanded answers. But what would she say? Would she even bother making excuses? Or would she just laugh, like this was some kind of joke? I thought about calling her. Thought about sending a text. But what would I even say? Me, "Hey Mia. Hope you're having fun. Just wondering when exactly did you decide to trade our relationship for a diamond bracelet?" No. That wasn't me. I wasn't going to beg for answers she didn't deserve to give. Adio called, his voice snapping me out of my thoughts. "Bro, where'd you go? You just disappeared." I swallowed hard. I saw Mia. There was a pause. And she was with someone else. The words tasted bitter on my tongue. An older guy. He gave her a bracelet. She looked happy. Adil cursed under his breath. Man, I don't know what to say. You sure it wasn't just... It wasn't nothing. I cut him off. I saw it, Adiel. She let him touch her. She let him have her. Silence. Then, he sighed. You want me to come to you? I shook my head. No. I need to think. I drove aimlessly for hours. The city lights blurring past me. My mind replayed every moment I had spent with Mia. The late-night talks, the whispered promises, the way she had once told me, I don't care about money, I just want you. Lies. Has it always been a lie? Has she ever truly loved me? My hands tightened on the steering wheel. I wasn't just heartbroken. I was angry. Angry at her. Angry at myself for believing her. For loving her. I pulled over to the side of the road, my breathing uneven. My reflection stared back at me in the rearview mirror, tired eyes, clenched jaw, a man who had just lost something he thought was forever. I exhaled sharply. Mia thought she had won. That she could play with my heart and walk away without consequences. She thought I would break. That I would beg. But she had no idea who she was dealing with. I wasn't going to fall apart. I was going to make sure she lost too. I sat in my car, gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. The club lights flickered in my rearview mirror, but my mind was stuck on one thing: her. Mia. The woman who had once traced my face with her fingertips, who had whispered I love you like it was a vow, now sat laughing with another man, wearing a bracelet he had just given her. My heart pounded in my chest, a painful, rhythmic reminder that I had been played. Was it always like this? Has she ever truly loved me? Or was I just a stepping stone until someone better came along? I unlocked my phone, scrolling through our messages. Me. Did you eat? Don't forget to take care of yourself, babe. Red Mia. Of course. You're too sweet. Love you. Mia. Girls' night tonight. We'll text you later. Face blowing a kiss girls' night. I let out a bitter laugh, shaking my head. Was I really that blind? I had trusted her. Believed her. And now? Now, I was just another fool who had loved the wrong person. My fingers hovered over the dial button. I wanted to call her. Wanted to ask no. Demand an explanation. Who was he? How long has this been going on? Was I never enough for you? But then a dark thought crept into my mind. What if she doesn't even bother to lie? What if she just laughs? Shrugs? What if she tells me the truth in the cruelest way possible? Come on, did you really think love was enough? I felt my stomach twist at the thought. I wasn't ready to hear that. I wasn't ready to let her know she had broken me. I ran a hand down my face, trying to steady my breathing. My heart was battling my mind, both screaming at me with different messages. Confront her. She needs to know she can't get away with this. Walk away. She's already gone. Don't give her the satisfaction of seeing you hurt. I clenched my jaw. No. I wouldn't call her. Not tonight. She thought she was in control. Though she could trade me in for wealth and comfort, like love was a bargain. But she had underestimated me. She thought I would fall apart. That I would beg. But I wouldn't. Because if there was one thing I knew for sure, Mia might have played the game. But I was about to change the rules. The moment I had been dreading, the moment I knew would either break me completely or set me free, was finally here. Mia walked into our apartment late that night, her heels clicking against the wooden floor. She tossed her purse on the couch like nothing had happened, stretching her arms as if she had just come back from a regular night out. Like she hadn't just spent the evening draped over another man. Like she hadn't just sold our love for a diamond bracelet. I sat in the dimly lit living room, my hands clasped together, my jaw tight. The silence was thick, suffocating, charged with all the words I was about to throw at her. She finally noticed me. Hey babe, she said casually, a soft smile playing on her lips. Why are you up so late? I stared at her. Really started. This woman, the one I had once believed was my future, my forever, stood in front of me, looking at me like nothing had changed. Like she wasn't betraying me behind my back. Something inside me snapped. I leaned forward, my voice low but sharp. Did you have fun tonight? She blinked, slightly caught off guard by my tone. Yeah? It was a nice girls' night. I let out a small, humorless chuckle. Girls' night, huh? I pulled out my phone, opened the picture I had secretly taken at the club. Mia, sitting way too close to that man, her fingers grazing his wrist, his hand on her thigh. I turned the screen toward her. Her face was drained of color. Silence. A long, suffocating silence. Then she let out a nervous laugh, running a hand through her hair. It's not what it looks like. I stood up, my voice rising. Not what it looks like? Mia, you were all over him. He gave you a bracelet. You let him touch you. She flinched, her lips parting like she was about to defend herself, but I didn't let her. Do you think I'm stupid? My hands were shaking now, the rage bubbling up to the surface. How long, Mia? How long have you been doing this behind my back? She swallowed, glancing away. And in that moment, I knew. She wasn't going to deny it. Because she couldn't. Tears welled up in her eyes, but I refused to let them affect me. It's not what you think, she whispered. I let out a bitter laugh. Then tell me, Mia, what is it? She hesitated. And then, with a deep breath, she said something that shattered me into a million pieces. He can give me things you never could. My entire body went still. I felt the words slice through me, sharper than any knife. I had braced myself for excuses, for apologies, for desperate attempts to fix what she had broken. But I hadn't expected this. A confession. A justification. A choice. I stared at her, my heart hammering in my chest. So that's what it was? My voice was eerily calm now. It was never about love. It was about things. Tears streamed down her face, but she didn't move toward me. Didn't even try to hold me. Because deep down, she knew. She had already lost me. I exhaled slowly, stepping back. You know what, Mia? I clenched my jaw, shoving my hands into my pockets to keep from completely breaking down. I hope he's worth it. With that, I turned, walked past her, and left. She didn't call after me. She didn't try to stop me. And that was the part that hurt the most. The night air was cold, but it wasn't nearly as freezing as the emptiness inside me. I walked through the streets, my hands clenched into fists, Mia's words echoing in my mind like a haunting melody. He can give me things you never could. That was it. That was the truth. It was never about love. Never about us. It was about what I lacked. I reached my car and slammed the door shut, gripping the steering wheel so hard my fingers ached. I should have seen it coming. The signs were always there, the way she hesitated when I talked about our future, the subtle sighs when I struggled financially, the way she never truly needed me the way I needed her. But love makes you blind, and I had been the biggest fool of all. I didn't sleep at night. I stared at my ceiling, my mind cycling through memories, every laugh, every kiss, every promise that now felt like a carefully crafted lie. But somewhere between the heartbreak and the fury, a thought settled into my mind like poison. Mia thought she had won. She thought she had played the game well, trading me in for someone richer, someone who could shower her with gifts and expensive dinners. But if she thought I would just disappear quietly, she was dead wrong. No, I wouldn't beg. I wouldn't fight for her. I would make sure she lost, too. I spent the next few weeks in silence. No calls, no texts, no desperate attempts to bring her back. But I had a plan. Mia had always loved two things: luxury and admiration. She wanted to be adored, envied, and treated like a queen. So I decided to take it all away. Through ADL, I found out more about the man she had chosen far as chic. Older, wealthy, and stupidly confident. The kind of guy who believed money could buy anything, including her. I did my research, learning everything about him, his businesses, his connections, his weaknesses. And then I made my move. One by one, I started leaking subtle rumors in the right circles, whispers about how Mia had been stringing both of us along, how she had spent nights in my arms even after meeting Faraz, how she was only with him for Gra. The lifestyle. It didn't take long for it to reach his ears. Rich men like Faraz don't like feeling played. Mia had bet everything on him. And just like that, she lost it all. It happened exactly as I had predicted. One evening, as I was leaving my office, I got a call from an unknown number. I picked up, and the moment I heard her voice, my lips curled into a smirk. Zayn. Mia's voice was shaky, desperate. I leaned against my car, feigning casual indifference. Mia. What a surprise. Please, she sniffled. I don't know what happened. Faraz won't answer my calls, he kicked me out of his place, and now you're calling me? I cut her off, my voice colder than ever. What do you want, Mia? She hesitated. I made a mistake. I let out a slow breath, staring at the city lights. No, Mia. You made a choice. A pause. Then a broken whisper. I miss you. I chuckled, shaking my head. You miss what I gave you, not me. She sobbed on the other end, but I felt nothing. No sympathy, no love. Only satisfaction. This was the moment I had been waiting for, the moment she realized what she had thrown away. But it was too late. You should go, Mia, I said finally, my tone flat. Find someone else to use, because I'm done. I hung up, and just like that, she was gone. For the first time in weeks, I felt free. Mia had been my world, my everything. But in the end, she was just a less painful, unforgettable lesson. I didn't regret loving her, but I would never make the same mistake again. As I drove away, I smiled to myself, the city lights blurring past me. She had chosen wealth over love, and in the end, she lost both. The end.